Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Iron Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Seafarer Insurance, GOL PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services Limited, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. All right, so this week we are discussing how to build a sustainable framework for Ghana's exploitation of seafarers. And we had in the studios two captains as well as an official from the Ghana Maritime Authority. Let's take a listen.
I want us to look at how competitive Ghana has been on the global seafarer industry.
We have actually been very competitive on the global seafaring market. In fact, if you look at around 1960s, that we normally call the golden era of liner shipping. But unfortunately, after that time, when things went down the drain, it seems the government has not actually tried anything to leverage the seafarers' potential. So for the past 2 decades, the Ghanaian seafarers have been advocating to the government for the need to create an conducive environment that will enable the country to become a major exporter of seafarers. Fortunately, we have not had any very good tangible results. So because the conditions in the industry are very favorable now, we have decided to, through our mouthpiece, the Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association, to start organizing couple of symposiums so that we can educate the public, make them aware of the potential to export seafarers. Because, for example, we know that Philippines, we've always been talking about Philippines, but people do not actually see the what Philippines is doing. Unfortunately, African countries, none of us has started it. And the Far East countries have actually started it. Philippines, for example, is bringing in almost about $6 billion US dollars every month, and at present they supply almost about a quarter of the global seafarers. So our aim is to let our government be aware that we can do the same thing, and then that we need to put in places the correct mechanism, framework, and other things which we want to draw the government's attention to it. And that's one of those things that we want to discuss for today.
Okay, in terms of securing international placement, Captain Onassis, for you, what has been the challenge?
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha. But before I answer your question, let me just throw a little bit more light on who and what Ghana Merchant Navy Officers is, or who they are.
Okay.
Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association was actually founded in 1970 and has always played an advocacy role. But primarily, it was established for the welfare of these merchant navy officers who were then working on our national shipping lines. And as Captain Amansha rightly said, some time back, Ghana was indeed very competitive when it came to producing seafarers. But regrettably, that has dwindled. And over the last 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, Captain Amansha and Co. of the Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association have been advocating very strongly on almost every opportunity to reach out to government to look at its policies with regard to training seafarers. You understand? So, one would say, therefore, that perhaps now we are not that competitive, although the demand is there. Hence, this conversation we are going to have this evening. So from me, the seafarer's point of view, although the potential is, we haven't taken the right steps to, seize it, to create jobs for the youth of this country. And for that matter, just as Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association, for instance, played a very important role towards the establishment of, say, Ghana Maritime Authority per se. It is a history which is not known to many, but it was through the advocacy of Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association, for which Ghana Maritime Authority, for instance, was established. Come and talk even about the Maritime Labour Convention, before its initial ratification, it took the efforts of the Ghana Merchant Navy Officers Association to, for that to be done. So here again, I am glad that we are here talking about this. I am hopeful and optimistic that perhaps at the end of this conversation, we shall come up with some framework and policy and strategies which, could be put in place for us to see this desire to export seafarers, which definitely promises of good returns, as we have observed from other countries such as Philippines, India, China, just to name a few for now. Thank you.
Why is it so critical for us to develop a seafarer database?
In Africa, probably the third. Okay, those countries that we compete with are Egypt and then South Africa. Apart from these two countries, there is no other country that comes near Ghana. Even with Ethiopia, Ethiopia has a shipping line, but most of their seafarers were trained here in Ghana. When it comes to the institutional framework, the legal framework, even the educational framework, these things are in place, okay? For instance, Ghana has ratified the Maritime Labour Convention. We are also implementing the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. That's the STCW Convention. Just last year, Ghana was maintained on the white list, meaning that we have given full and complete effect to the provisions of the STCW Convention. That involves a lot, meaning that our maritime education and training institutes have been audited and found to be among one of the best. It has met international standards. The Maritime Authority itself has also met that requirement. The lecturers or the instructors have met those requirements. So all these things are in place. What I would say is probably the numbers are not encouraging. Okay. So one of the things that we have put in place are what you mentioned, the Seafarers database. Seafarers database is, to put it simply, is just a register, okay? Currently, we have an electronic database. And apart from weekends, every day we capture seafarers. Every day we capture seafarers. So if you go into our database, we have the different categories of seafarers that we need. What I think currently is a challenge is the opportunity for shipboard training. Okay, because anybody who comes in Ghana, they want to recruit, especially during the COVID. They mentioned Philippines, but Philippines was having a lot of challenge. It couldn't meet the standards under the IMO. It couldn't go through the audit that Ghana passed. Okay, the only reason that they couldn't stop Philippines is because they command a very large number of seafarers. Okay, but when it comes to the education itself, like I mentioned, the challenge that we have is the shipboard training. Because when you train somebody, you expect that the person, one thing that the maritime industry requires is, it's not about book knowledge, it's about competence. And when we talk about competence, we are talking about knowledge, we are talking about skill, we are talking about the right attitude. Okay, you go into the RMU, the Regional Maritime University, they have the knowledge there, they have the skill there, the knowledge and the attitude, you pick it there. Because what the lecturers are doing is to transfer knowledge to the would-be seafarers, the cadets, the ratings. But when it comes to the shipboard training, because a number of seafarers are at home because of the absence of shipboard training, that is currently the challenge. If you are able to get enough seafarers who have shipboard training, I think much of the challenge that we have will be solved.
In terms of maintaining and updating this register, Captain Amenhia, whose role is this? Who should be doing this?
Thank you, Maisha. There are a couple of things that Mr. Awudi said, which I think we need to probe further. What we are trying to talk about now is that we need to address this particular framework that we're talking about from two thematic areas.
Angles.
We'll address it from the quality-wise, and we also address it from the quantity-wise.
Okay.
Because we are talking about being a labor supply country. We need quite a lot of people. Because
True.
Philippines is now, what do you call it, is now deploying 400,000 seafarers.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in the initial stages, we are planning, that is from the maritime seafarers, we are planning at least to start trying to get about, 100,000. Okay, then we can pat ourselves a little bit on the back and say that we're okay. For quality-wise, as Mr. Audi said, we are quite good. I mean, all our syllabuses and maritime institutions, they're all on the white list. Of course, Philippines found it tough to come back on the white list. I mean, they were off for about 6 years and so and so. But because they have the numbers, 400,000, it means nobody wanted to leave it that, okay, if they can't meet it, let's leave them. So they actually got a lot of help. And they are still getting quite a lot of help for training. That's what we don't have. And that is why we're going to try to talk about all these things. Even if not here, we'll try and talk about it during our training, what do you call it? Symposiums. Yeah. We're going to talk about it.
In maritime training programs, are there gaps currently as we speak?
There are quite a lot of gaps. There are because I'm a lecturer at the Regional Maritime University. There are quite a lot of gaps. As he rightly said, there's a difference between our certificate, that's called a certificate of competency, and a normal university degree. Okay, the normal academic degrees and all those things, you get knowledge about it. But with our certificate of competency, we give you the skills to translate, I use that word, translate acquired knowledge into successful job performance. That is what the industry needs. And in order to get you to do all these things, we need a lot of things. One, we need a training platform, a training ship. That is the first thing. Then we need a lot of simulators. Okay, because nowadays, we do a lot of things on the simulator. And the maritime, the only simulator we have is probably in the regional maritime, and I don't think it's even very, very, very good. So that's where we're trying to get these, especially the banks. We're going to try and deal with them, and we tell them that, listen, we would like you, and there must be a policy for that, we would like you to build simulators. Maybe we need about 10 or something, or 16. Each region will have one. And what you are going to do is, of course, people are coming to use it for training. They're going to pay. But then we're going to try and convince the government to add a little bit of what we call incentive. I call it incentive. Now listen, we're trying to produce seafarers for the maritime industry. They will need to be transferring money. And for example, if you talk about Philippines, they're transferring almost about $6 billion a year. So let's take about 2 billion. Let's start, be modest, let's start with about 2 billion. If you are getting 2 billion coming in, and they are going to have it, transferred to Ghana, I mean, the banks are going to make quite a lot of money about. And these are some of the things that we need to talk about so that the banks will really do that. Because the government cannot get that amount of money to get the things that we need. So that's one of those things that we want to educate the public, and we tell the government, please, can you help us do this? Because for the training, most of the seafarers themselves pay for their training. But if we have the facilities, they will be able to use them. And those are the things that we want the public to be aware of.
So in terms of these simulators, the problem that Captain Amenshia has just outlined, including training from other countries, I mean, how can we resolve this issue, Captain Bankers?
Yes, but before I come to that, I want to go back to the data as to the question of who is supposed to keep this data. Another group of stakeholders who could be in a position of keeping this data are, for instance, the seafarer labor unions. You understand? Because we are supposed to, or we represent our seafarers, we are supposed to sit with their employers to negotiate their terms of employment, etc. You understand? Because in recent times, you find all manner of people calling themselves captains, chief engineers, etc. And interestingly, the media is giving ears to them. And they may be doing something quite good, but however, that person parading himself saying, I am a so-so-so-so, isn't. Who will rebuff that than the union? You understand? I will beg to differ to say that Ghana is actually competitive, given the challenges he has he has stated here. You don't have a training ship, you don't have simulators. Why? The ship owners are definitely aware. And indeed, one big challenge that we have now is that we have quite a chunk of, people trained and are not only are unemployed. A number come to the Regional Maritime University. For instance, we are running a new course now for which when the student and they graduate, they are just there, although they have been given some certificate of training, but without the practical. So indeed, we have to look at our training model if we want to actually become competitive. You understand?
When we say Ghana is competitive, what we are talking about is currently we have 40 countries that have signed memorandum of understanding with us for mutual recognition of certificates. If a country is not competitive, you wouldn't get such a people coming in to sign an MOU with. And some of the big, we are talking about flag of convenience, okay? Also, you see, when you talk about syllables evolved, curriculum evolves, okay? As technology advances, currently we are talking about green shipping. It means a new technology is coming. Once there is new technology, the curriculum has to be amended, okay? So issues about curriculum, like Captain Mensha said, some of the things, we already have them in place. The curriculum is okay, the institutional framework, the legal framework, all those things are okay. The missing ingredient, as far as I'm concerned, is because if you have a lot of people, if there is available shipboard training, if seafarers have shipboard training, you wouldn't have to go out to ask people to take seafaring as a vocation. Because once they see the success in that field, you have a lot more people coming in.
Iron Port returns after this break.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, Wufilia, huh? Wubefeel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back from the break. Now, news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry next.
The Ghana Port and Harbours Authority has commissioned a multi-purpose vessel at the port of Tema. The state-of-the-art multi-purpose vessel is set to enhance the country's maritime and logistic infrastructure, further strengthening Ghana's position as a leading maritime hub in the region. The new multi-purpose vessel will enhance the operational capabilities of Ghana's port and ensure safety and sustainability of the country's maritime domain. The vessel is named after Gordon Enim, a distinguished figure in Ghana's maritime sector who had served the Port Authority for 35 years and also became the director of both the Tema and Takoradi ports. Speaking at the ceremony, the Director General of GPHA, Michael Achagwe Luguje, in a speech read on his behalf by the Director of Port of Tema, Sandra Opoku, described the commissioning as a moment of pride and fulfillment. She highlighted the vessel's arrival as a testament to the growth and dynamism of Ghana's port industry, underpinned by the authority's commitment to operational excellence and sustainable practices.
This ceremony marks an important milestone in our collective efforts to enhance the maritime and logistics infrastructure of our country. The addition of MPV Gordon Enim to our fleet is not just a testament to the growth and dynamism of Ghana's port industry, but also a clear reflection of our commitment to improving operational efficiency, fostering economic growth, and strengthening Ghana's position as a leading maritime hub in the sub-region.
She said the MPV Gordon Enim is designed to handle a variety of maritime operations, including oil spill responses, hazardous material containment, and waste collection at sea. She added that the vessel's advanced technology and versatile capabilities align with GPHA's goal of embarking innovation and sustainability in the maritime trade.
MPV Gordon Enim is a state-of-the-art multi-purpose vessel designed to cater to a wide range of maritime operations, from responding quickly to oil spills and other hazardous material discharges at sea to collecting floating debris or waste materials.
The director of the Port of Takoradi, Peter Amubediako, extended his best wishes to the vessel, expressing hope that it will play a significant role in enhancing the success of GPHA.
I know this vessel will encounter favorable winds. I know it will also encounter calm seas, just representative of who Mr. Gordon Enim is. I know that this vessel will sail forth to a future as bright and promising as the effort that has brought this vessel into being.
The honoree expressed his profound gratitude to the board, management, and staff of GPHA for the honor done him.
Your recognition of my contribution to the port and maritime industry is particularly refreshing, and I'm proud to be associated with a reputable organization like Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Your gesture not only warms my heart, but also inspires me to continue contribution to the maritime industry even in retirement.
This MPV will also help address both environmental and operational challenges while improving the safety, efficiency, and sustainability across the ports of Tema. Assistant Commissioner Theresa Potakey has officially taken over as the new sector commander of the Tema collection within the Custom Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. With a distinguished career spanning over several years in customs, Theresa Potakey brings a wealth of experience and expertise to her new role. Prior to her appointment, she served as assistant to the outgoing sector commander, Assistant Commissioner Christiana Odi-Ejay. At a ceremony held to bid farewell to the outgoing sector commander, Assistant Commissioner Christiana Odi-Ejay, stakeholders in the port industry commended her exceptional contribution to ensuring the smooth clearance of goods at the port of Tema. The Commissioner of the Custom Division, GRA, Brigadier General Zibrim Bawa Ayorogo, praised her professionalism and dedication, describing her leadership as a cornerstone of the sector's culture of excellence.
Over the years, she has demonstrated unwavering dedication and professionalism, serving in various capacities and leaving an indelible mark on the Custom Division.
In her farewell address, Assistant Commissioner Odi-Ejay reflected on her achievements during her tenure and expressed heartfelt gratitude to the sector and its stakeholders for their unwavering support.
As I bid you farewell, I'm living with memories that I will cherish forever. Be influenced by the lessons learned, guard the friendship forged, and value the experiences shared.
In a related development, the Tema Custom Division of the GRA hosted its annual get-together and awards night to recognize and celebrate hardworking officers who have made significant contribution to the sector's growth and operational success.
Ocean Network Express, one of the world's leading liner shipping companies, has deployed its first Magenta vessel to West Africa, One Responsibility, which berthed at the Meridian Port Services Terminal 3 in Tema. This milestone demonstrates the shipping line's strong commitment to the West African region and Ghana's strategic role in regional trade. Measuring 280 meters in length and boasting a capacity of 7,000 TEUs, the arrival of One Responsibility signals a significant boost for maritime trade and infrastructure in the region. The Chief Executive Officer of Meridian Port Services, Mohammed Samara, reaffirmed MPS' dedication to delivering world-class services to vessels and their clients.
So we are proud to be of good service for O&E, and we are proud to be of good service for the customers of O&E, to facilitate their trade. Not only the inbound one, but we have to look also at the outbound.
In her remarks, the Marketing and Corporate Affairs Manager of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Nanesi Soderberg, emphasized the vessel's potential to further enhance trade across the West African sub-region. She noted that such developments contribute significantly to the growth and efficiency of Ghana's ports, positioning them as critical hubs for international trade.
As we develop and help Ghana grow, the region as a whole should also grow alongside. And vessels like this with volumes like these can contribute greatly to the development of our West African region as a whole.
The Managing Director of Ocean Network Express, Richard Smith, highlighted that the deployment of One Responsibility will address challenges such as limited space and equipment availability, ensuring better service for the company's customers.
We have a lot more space available for our import customers and also for Ghana's exports. When we're in the peak agro-commodity season, we really need that extra space to get Ghana's products to their global markets.
The arrival of One Responsibility at the port of Tema underscores the growing importance of West Africa in global trade routes and the strategic investments being made to meet the demands of the maritime industry. The International Chamber of Commerce Ghana has commended the impressive infrastructure at the MPS Terminal 3 and the overall ease of doing business at Ghana's ports. Members of the chamber believe these advancements are pivotal in creating a conducive environment for trade to thrive. During a visit to the MPS Terminal 3, as part of their annual general meeting, ICC-Ghana members observed the terminal's operations and lauded its state-of-the-art facilities. They noted that the unique investment in Terminal 3, coupled with its efficiency in trade facilitation, would significantly boost Ghana's position as a leader in regional commerce.
Our job is to use what we see here as a model to sell to the rest of the world and attract the necessary investment into Ghana and into the continent. And once you have it, definitely trade facilitation will be more efficient, and then the cost of doing business, the cost of products, cost of services will definitely come down.
Other ICC-Ghana members advocated for further leveraging digitalization in Ghana's port operations.
What we're all seeing here at MPS Terminal 3 is a clear example of what can happen to our economy, our country, if we will adapt this whole digitization, drive or movement.
We are looking at more enhancement and trade facilitation in the port of Tema so that it will continue to be the gateway to West Africa and for Ghana to continue to be strategically located to serve and to feed the Sahelian countries of Burkina, Mali and Niger.
The CEO of Meridian Port Services Limited, Mohamed Samara, who also serves as the vice chairman of ICC Ghana, provided insight into the terminal's strategic advantages.
They are responding, with those mega ships over here. It's because we have enabled this to happen. And with this enabling things, it means that the customer here or the importer, he shortened his transit time, he has better freight rate.
The executive director of Whitestone Shipbrokers, Gertrude Ohene-Sienim, underscored the importance of continuous training for stakeholders in international trade.
Training is a way of enhancing our business goals and also help us to improve, cut down on inefficiencies and improve on the skills of our staff to be able to have the overall benefit of improving their skills.
The visit reinforced ICC Ghana's commitment to supporting Ghana's ports and trade infrastructure.
We have some international ports and maritime news. The United Kingdom has unveiled the latest round of the Clean Maritime Demonstration Competition. The Clean Maritime Demonstration Competition is designed to support clean maritime technologies, including electric, hydrogen, ammonia, methanol, wind power, and more. Coastal communities and businesses across the country are expected to benefit from the £30 million of the new decarbonization funding, helping to drive economic growth and create jobs. We have the phrase of the day next. Harmonized tariff system. Harmonized tariff system refers to an organized listing of goods and their duty rate, which is primarily used by customs as the basis for classifying imported products and therefore establishing the applicable duties. Let's take a listen to some safety and health tips.
Respirators. A respirator is a respiratory protective device designed to achieve a very close facial fit and very efficient filtration of airborne particles. Note that the edge of the respirator are designed to form a seal around the nose and mouth. Respirators are manufactured for use in construction and other industrial type jobs that expose workers to dust and small particles. Incorporating respiratory protection safety signs into your workplace is a straightforward yet powerful step towards ensuring the health and safety of everyone on site. These signs help create a safer, more informed work environment and clearly communicating hazards and necessary precautions.
We have your comments coming up next.
Aaron Adoboating says, to bridge the employment gap, I believe the Maritime Authority and the Regional Maritime University should be able to sign contracts with many shipping lines to be able to send their students for sea service training during vacation periods. Engineer Nati says, can our seafarers be drafted into SNIT contributions during their negotiations so that they will be entitled to SNIT benefits after service of work? Yes, Engineer Nati. Captain Onassis Banker says it is something that they are considering.
Now, schedules of vessels in the port, those at Takoradi and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. So this is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Iron Port. Thank you for watching and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week.